Sam here from Fun Decks Only. Today we're going over a standard Brawl deck on Arena. It's Niv Mizzet Reborn with shrines. So your main win con on this one is Sanctum of All, finding all the other shrines for you. What I've found is the best order is Fruitful Harvest, and then Sanctum of Calm Waters, then Stone Fangs, then Tranquil Light, then Shattered Heights. Being 5 colour, you need fixing. So you've got Chromatic Lantern, Elysian Caryatid, Arcane Signet, Gift of Paradise, and Faber Elder. You could run Gilded Goose, you could run any of the other 2-drop ramp creatures, but the reason I don't go for Incubation Druids, so Gilded Goose, it's a one-time effect, so yeah, it's kind of okay, but you haven't got much space wiggle room in this one. This one only adds mana for creatures. This one only adds mana for lands you control. Paradise Druid, yeah, I get that. You could put that in. The main reason Caryatid over the Paradise Druid is because if you have landed Niv Mizzet on the battlefield, he does add for 2. He does add 2 mana, so that's generally why. So Faber Elder is in it, mostly because once you've got him out and you play a Sanctum of All or Niv Mizzet, you have a 5/5 who can tap for 5 mana, which is better than all the other dorks. Okay, now we've got the value pieces. So you've got Omen of the Sea. Normally use it to fish up a land drop, but use it as you see fit. Destiny Spinner. Now this is a really important one. Enchantments can't be countered, which is important since, let's see, how much of the deck is enchantments? 16 cards out of 60 are enchantments, so you definitely want to make them uncounterable. Good card. Idyllic Tutor, it's just pretty good. Not much more to say on it. Teferi's Tutelage. This sneaks under everyone's radar. This is an incredible win con for the deck. When you pair it with, where are you? Cetessan Champion, and you've got multiple enchantments entering in one turn, then you're milling out for multiples. Whirlwind of Thought, same idea. Now the Sanctum of Cold Waters is when it really hits high gear. If you get Sanctum to draw you 2 or 3, you're milling them for 10% of their deck every time. Now Fire's Invention was something that I hadn't seen in the deck, that I hadn't put in the deck, but I saw someone else playing it. This is really strong. It just allows you to spam your value out faster. You don't have much instant speed interaction in this deck. I believe your instants are Assassin's Trophy and Omen of the Sea. Whirlwind of Thought, bit of no-brainer, just more cards. More cards always good. Shark Typhoon. Now, most of the time in most decks you would be cycling this to get the shark. This deck, you cast it. Get yourself blockers, get yourself attackers. You know, it's great. If you can land it, it's amazing. Assassin's Trophy, you need removal, generally for certain permanents. Normally Planeswalkers you'd be aiming this at, but also enchantments or artifacts. Yeah, that's about it. Earth to Kaya, something else I was sleeping on. 3 mana, it gains you 3 life against aggro decks, and it can hit Planeswalkers. Clothis, going the long game against plenty of decks, also completely knackers any graveyard recursion decks. If you land this early, you're in a good place against them. and control decks, because generally they will just counter your spells constantly. So if you've got Clothis on the field, then you're just burning away their graveyard, so they're not able to get any value back out of their graveyard. Great card. Calyx. Outside of this deck, I've found him completely useless. In this deck, he's amazing. He finds half your deck for you, or exiles problem creatures. He's very good. Very good card advantage if you can stick him. Norset of the Ancient Way, very good. Mana fixing to an extent, life gain to an extent, single target removal. You're never going to ultimate a Casualty of War. How to blow someone out in a late game, absolutely destroys people sometimes. Really, really fun if you can get it to land. Sometimes it's just a creature in a land. Like, you're a bit sad to see it, but you just need to do it sometimes. Okay, now we're on to the ultra safety part, which is the Wraths. So you've got Shatter the Sky, 4 mana Wrath, always good. Extinction Event, 4 mana Wrath, very good. Or Knackers, Graveyard Recursion, and Death Trigger effects as well. Good card. Kaya's Wrath, it's a Wrath. Solar Blaze, one of the worst Wraths that you've got in the deck, but can do work if you need it sometimes. Although, like, if you're ever against high toughness decks, you're just sad. Although hilarious if they've got a Death Touch tribal deck. Whee! Elspeth Conquers Death. Generally putting it at a Planeswalker, just really good. Time Wipe, another Wrath. You can potentially get another cast of Niv out. And now, for the most fun part of the deck, you might have been seeing them just casually hanging around at the right there. Ultimatums! Right. Got my sideboard. Ruinous Ultimatum. Absolutely knackers people. It's really funny to see when they've committed heavily to a board in order to try and push through your sanctums, and then you just Ruinous Ultimatum, and they are very sad. Eerie Ultimatum, really good in the late game if you can sneak it through a counter. Just completely refills your board, and if you've got Tutelage and Cetacean Champion in the bin and enough enchantments, then it is potentially like a one-shot kill. Inspired Ultimatum. Well, I thought this one would be the best one in the deck, but it turns out to be the most underwhelming. Still a great card. Pairs really well with Teferi's Tutelage. I would use it. Just a good card. Emergent Ultimatum. Now this has been the one that surprised me because it's a lot of fun. You can the pile I tend to find if they're not on the field is Cetacean Champion, Sanctum of Calm Waters, Sanctum of Fruitful Harvest. Generally they'll push the Sanctum of Calm Waters to the bottom, and then you can get your champion and your Sanctum, and you get a card draw off it. Sounds underwhelming. Potentially, you can also find Elspeth Conquers Death, Shatter the Sky, Shock Typhoon. They're almost definitely going to put Shock Typhoon back in the deck, in which case you get to save your board. You get to wrath their board and get rid of one of their annoying things. Alternatively, if it's really late game, you could go Fires of Invention, Shock Typhoon. Why not? And then anything else. It's like you've got so much choice when it comes to the emergent. Now you might be thinking, why haven't I put Genesis Ultimatum in? And I'm also thinking that I'll have to find space for it at some point. Now the lands, you may notice I've only got 2 basics. It's really painful. I used to run Oban and then I realised I've only got 2 basics. Fabled Passage, yeah, I don't know why it's still there. I'll probably remove that or find something else to put there. Command Tower, obvious. You've got all the Triumphs. These are just really handy. You can cycle them away later, so it's fine. All the Temples, all the Shocks. Yeah, you're laughing there. Okay, that was the deck tech. I will now post a few gameplay things in a separate video, just so that this video, just because of timing constraints with the videos. Okay, right. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.